Welcome to Walmart Spark Pay 101. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 things that you need to know about Walmart Spark Driver Pay, as well as give you a complete breakdown of how Walmart Spark Pay works. Be sure to stay tuned to the end of the video if you want to hear about my personal earnings on Walmart Spark. And without further ado, let's jump into number 1, which is Walmart Spark Base Pay. So in my market, base pay on Walmart Spark orders, the ones that are just delivery only, is somewhere between, I would say, $7 and $9 per delivery. Editor John here. I just want to confirm that when I'm talking about base pay here for these delivery only orders, that it starts between $7 and $9 for small orders going short distances, but that base pay amount does rise based on order size. For example, a large or extra large order and going a longer mileage. So just to clarify. Now, if you're looking at the shop and deliver orders, in my market, the base pay for those orders is typically $15+. In my area, I'm consistently seeing $20+ for less than 5 miles, so I'm consistently taking those orders. A lot of times they are also small orders too. Now, the second part of Walmart Spark Driver Pay is Surge Pay. Surge Pay gets added onto base pay for when an order is not taken in a reasonable amount of time. Now, from my experience, Surge Pay is added to orders or to offers after they time out and nobody accepts them for like a long time. Typically, I see this on ASAP offers after like from the previous round robin. And the thing that always throws me off is that Spark doesn't show me the Surge Pay separately. I have to be tracking the order to know that was a $10 base and now it's a $12 base or whatever that increase is. Now, Surge Pay maxes out at $12, so that's $12 in addition to whatever the base pay was for that order. And in my experience, I've had a chance to get surge orders when I'm getting other orders done quickly, like a shop and deliver that get done very quickly, and then it's the end of that hour, and I may see some ASAP orders with Surge Pay on them. Now, if you see a ton of orders surging or just a ton of order volume in general, the thing to keep in mind there is that can also indicate that the pickup area is backed up and it's going to be a long wait if you're going to pick up those orders. Now, the third piece of Walmart Spark Delivery Pay is tips. Like any other gig app, tips are critical to your earnings and to being successful in earning on that app. With Walmart Spark, tips take 24 to 48 hours to clear. In my experience, it's been 24 hours, but now because of that delay for those tips to settle on your account, that does allow for tip baiting, which unfortunately does happen on Walmart Spark, just like it does on Uber Eats and the other platforms that allow the customers to change their tips. Now, there are certain steps that you can take to reduce your exposure to tip baiting, so be sure to stay tuned for more on that later in the video. Now, also on the opposite side of the spectrum, no tip orders are common on Walmart Spark, just like on any other gig app. Customers do have that 24 to 48 hours to adjust a tip, but in my experience, I have 0 times that I've had a tip adjusted in the app after delivery for a no tip order, but I have received cash tips on multiple occasions on no tip orders. So your market may vary, but that's been my experience. Now, if you do a little bit of research on YouTube and Reddit, you'll also find out some other theories about why the tips disappear, something with Spark stealing them, something about EBT cards. I'm not really well versed in that, so I mean, I'm sure you could do a quick Google search to find all that stuff out, but since I've never experienced and I can't confirm it, I'm not going to talk about it. Now, the fourth part of Walmart Spark Delivery Pay is bonuses and incentives. Now, these are in addition to all the other pay. Sometimes with their bonuses and incentives, they have multiple levels, like 4 orders get you an extra $20, 8 orders get you an extra $40 and stuff like that. And in those cases, you get the amount for whatever level you complete fully. One of the things that I do like a lot better about Spark compared to Shipt is that those surge orders, those promo orders, those count towards the bonuses, where unlike Shipt, there's so many reasons that an order could disqualify you from receiving the bonus. Now, the only other caveat I've seen on Spark when it comes to bonuses is that sometimes they're for a specific type of order. The majority of the time is for any order type, but they're ones that I've seen recently have been for .com orders. The other thing to keep in mind when it comes to these bonuses is that sometimes they're only for one specific store, so be sure that you're aware of the store numbers in your zone, the store numbers that you usually shop at, and if that bonus or that incentive requires a specific store. The other thing this is something that I don't like about the incentives is that the batch to orders, whether it be just 2 deliveries or the 10 deliveries, they only count as 1 trip. And I'm sorry, if I'm doing 10 deliveries and you want me to count that as 1 trip, I can't do it. So the last thing that I'll say about incentives is that they've been known to glitch, and so be sure to take your screenshots on all that. Like recently there was a glitch where a lot of Walmart Spark drivers had qualified for the incentive, completed the incentive, and then it disappeared from their screen. They didn't get paid for that incentive, but then Walmart Spark gave them this $25 credit thing, whatchamacallit. But this is just one example of this happening, and hopefully it doesn't happen again, but just wanted to give you this example. Now, the fifth thing you need to know about Walmart Spark Pay is about round robin orders. Round robin orders do impact your acceptance rate, which then impacts the order quality that you receive on Spark, which then of course impacts how much you you make on Spark. Now, if you're at a store with a long wait time, you can keep or cancel that order after 10 minutes. I know there's some places that say it has to be 15 minutes, 30 minutes, but it's been confirmed to multiple places that after 10 minutes, you'll see that long wait time cancellation option in the app if you're trying to cancel through the app. And if you do cancel through the app, you'll get a $2.50 cancellation fee. Now, to ensure that you're going to receive that $2.50, just make sure that you see that long wait time option in the app. Now, for one thing that I did hear is that you used to get paid for long wait times. I don't know what that amount is because I've never seen it in my market, but nowadays there's kind of a workaround if you want to kind of get yourself paid for wait time, which is when you've been waiting for an order a long time and you want to sign it for that wait time. 9 times out of 10, it'll pop right back up in your order queue, and if you accept it quickly, you should usually see it with a little bit of surge pay on it. For example, an $18 order going up to $20, $22, who knows? But long story short, you're increasing that order value if you're going to have to wait. Now, I don't know how long you have to wait, and even if you do see that surge pay pop, you really have to decide if you want to take that order at all, because probably you're still gonna have to wait another 10-15 minutes. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that if like your area is really busy and you drop that order and you're looking for it again, it may be hard because you're gonna see a lot of orders and your screen is just gonna be a wreck. Now, if you use the tip that I showed in this video, you can stop these orders from popping in and kind of just being annoying. But on that same scenario, if your app has that many orders, there's probably a better order out there. There's probably maybe a shop and deliver, something that's more worth your time, so choose wisely. Now, keep in mind to make sure that you use it and you don't abuse it. I'm not sure if doing that too much is something that can get you jacked up by Spark and potentially deactivated, so make wise choices. Now, the positive thing that I will say on round robin orders, or more specifically in my area, is that during the daytime, the majority of them are double orders, which also means that I'm typically getting 2 tips. Now, number 6 on the list of things that I want to talk about when it comes to the Walmart Spark driver delivery pay is shop and deliver orders. With shop and deliver orders, you can only take 1 order at a time, but the base pay is typically higher. So because that base pay is higher, taking more of these orders will reduce your exposure to tip baiting. Because of that higher base pay, the tip portion of your order is only about 25 to 35% of the amount you're expected to make, versus those pickup orders where that tip amount is 40 to 60%. So if you get tip baited on a round robin order, that's half of your money gone. Whereas if you get tip baited on a shop and deliver order, maybe, 10% to 25% of your money gone. Now, you're still susceptible to tip baiting, but your exposure is reduced. Now, because of that high base pay and me, at least in my market, not noticing that for bigger orders, the base pay gets much higher, I typically look for orders for shop and deliver that are either small or medium, or what I like to call light large. An example of this is like 3 32-inch TVs where those TVs nowadays are so light they weigh like 10-15 pounds, and it's technically a large order, but it's a very light order. Because I came from shipped, I can complete a shop at Walmart in 20 to 30 minutes for most orders, which also allows me to deliver more orders per hour, even after factoring in the time it takes to check out, the time it takes to swipe whatever in the app. And the biggest time saver for me is that you don't have to really communicate with the customer when it comes to Walmart Spark. You're not asking the customer about substitutions, and I'm just kind of going through that order. If it's there, it's there. If it's not, it's not. I am putting in some effort, don't get me wrong, but there's no need to go above and beyond to the umpteenth power because it don't make a difference in how much you're going to get paid. The thing that I have noticed is I have seen a higher base pay on some longer distance orders, and as I mentioned, because there's no wait time, once you accept the shop and deliver order, you can go shop it. And if you're waiting in that Walmart parking lot, pretty easy to just accept it and then walk in. Sometimes if I'm already looking for stuff myself in the Walmart, I'll accept it and just start shopping right there. Now, for me, another reason that I love shop and deliver orders, especially during this holiday season, is because with the long wait times at pickups, like I said earlier, I can do more orders per hour, get in, get out, get it delivered, and get another one. Now, with any shopping app, there's going to be that rare scenario where you shopping this order and the order gets canceled, or something happens where mid-order you're not going to be able to finish it because of something that happened from the customer side, right? So there is a cancellation fee. In my experience, it has been about $11. There's 2 scenarios this happening for me. One is that I was almost done shopping the order, and it was just a big order too. And as I'm almost about to go to checkout, I see this thing about the order being canceled, and it tells me to go leave the cart at customer service. So I'm going over to customer service with this big old cart of groceries, and like, the app said to leave this here. Deuces. I got paid $11 for that. Now, the other scenario that I got caught in was I went to go shop an item. It was a 1-item order. When you go to shop that order and you can't find it and you check out, it tells you the trip's been canceled. You get paid $11 for that. So if you know that something is out of stock and you see a 1-item order, it doesn't hurt to try to shop it. Now, the 7th thing about Walmart Spark delivery driver pay I want to talk about is .com orders. These are, in my opinion, the worst orders on the platform. These are those ones that say $40 for 12 deliveries going 35 miles. So you have to do the math yourself to figure out if that would be worth it to you because you're still gonna have to wait for the pickup. It's not gonna be faster, and then you're gonna deliver those items, and then yada yada yada. Now, as far as base pay goes, these have the highest base pay on the platform because basically all of their pay is a base pay. It's typically $25+ for these orders in my market. Usually the mileage is around 17 miles plus. I think I've seen like 55+ payouts for these orders as well, for mileage around the 30s. Now, although these orders aren't the most desirable, if you took these orders only, you'd have a 0% chance of getting tip baited, since basically 100% of the pay for these orders is base pay. But as I mentioned earlier, sometimes there's bonuses specific to these orders, like the ones that are going on right now. Now, in general, my opinion is, for me in my market, that it's hard for me to find orders of these nature that are worth it, but occasionally I can see one that's $45+ for about 17 to 18 miles, and it makes me think about it. The thing that I will say is that these orders are typically a bunch of small items. Now, the number 8 thing I want to talk about is how you maximize your pay as a Walmart Spark delivery driver. On Walmart Spark, a higher acceptance rate gets you better orders. So like, this is my current acceptance rate today. The highest acceptance rate I've ever been is about 42%. On my market, I only shop at one store, but I do get offers from multiple stores, but I'm pretty sure the round robin offers I receive are only from one store. Now, specifically when they say Walmart Spark, the high acceptance rate gets you better orders, what does that mean? What have I noticed? Well, in my experience, I've noticed that the orders that I get offered have basically 3 or 4 main characteristics now. Most of them are around that $20 or above. Mileage goes and varies, but a good order, when I get my round robin orders, I typically see 3 miles or less. I typically see 20 miles or more. As soon as I got above 30 or 40%, I noticed that I would basically get shop and deliver orders all the time for my round robin. So what that means is that for me to get an actual pickup order at round robin time, I'd have to decline multiple shop and deliver orders, thus lowering my acceptance rate. So that's one of the main reasons that I do more shop and deliver orders now. Now, the third way that I recommend maximizing pay is that if you're doing a lot of delivery only pickups, when you accept that order during the round robin offer time about 15 minutes after the hour, and you have to go pick it up about 45 minutes after the hour, do a DoorDash, do an Uber Eats, make some money in between there. That extra $5 to $10 right there, especially if you're getting $20 orders consistently, that bumps you up to closer to $25 to $30 an hour on Walmart Spark and food delivery combined, which in my book, anytime I'm above $25+ per hour, I'm winning. And that food delivery money, that extra money adds up way faster than you think. So the 9th thing I think you need to know about Walmart Spark delivery driver pay is that there's no instant cash out options. I got surprised by this, but when I first signed up to the platform, I found out that I was only paid once a week. I think I had heard that, but didn't really believe it. And then I experienced it, but with Walmart Spark, you're only paid once a week. You're paid on Tuesdays. Usually the money is on your branch account by noon on that Tuesday. I mean, I feel like every Tuesday they're sending out an email telling people to not freak out. So wait until at least a couple hours afternoon in your, in your market or in your time zone before you freak out and say that Walmart Spark isn't paying you. Now, make sure you do have that branch app, because if you don't have the branch app, you can't get paid. In order to get the branch app and get logged in with that, you got to get the link from when you were onboarded. So make sure you got that. If you didn't get a link when you onboarded to open your branch account, make sure you open a ticket with DDI to get that link to ensure that you can get paid. Now, as far as cashing out the money from branch to your bank account, there's a couple different options. There's the instant cash out option, which basically has you put in your debit card information, and then you can cash it out immediately. They take a fee. I don't know what that fee is, but it's like a percentage fee. And depending on how much you're cashing out, it's bigger. Now, the free option is just to do like the transfer to your bank account. And it says that it takes 3 to 5 days, but my experience is that it takes 1 day. So if I hit that option on Tuesday, that's in my checking account by Wednesday morning. Now, I know that your mileage may vary depending on what bank you have. So I also recommend getting the branch card, which basically ensures that you have instant access to your earnings the moment they deposit into your branch account. And last but not least, the 10th thing I want to talk about when it comes to Walmart Spark driver pay is the driver rewards program. Now, this is kind of the form of a pay in the sense like it's a bonus. Now, if you have a green customer rating, which is 4.7 or above, it gets you to the Walmart Spark driver rewards program for the following month. Now, this is a program that goes month to month depending on your ratings at the end of the previous month. Now, I think all gig apps should do something like this. It's not cash, but it's something that saves you money. So the big features of it, number one, you get discounts at the Walmart gas station, which I mean you probably should already get since you're a Walmart Spark driver. You get a free month of Walmart Plus, which allows you to experience Spark from the customer side. I got it my first month that I sparked, and I've been using it since, just because it's free, it's easy, and I'm going to be sparking all day. So what that allows me to do is put in an order while I'm sparking, and then basically set it up so that at the end of my day, I just go to the pickup, get my groceries, and go home. home. Makes it easier, makes it smarter. That's just my experience though, and that's just my opinion. The other part of it is that with that Walmart Plus, you get free Paramount Plus, which is kind of like, you know, Netflix and those other things, like those free streaming services, which is free entertainment for your family. And if you're single and ready to mingle, then it's I think the Netflix and chill, or what's the kids say, the Paramount Plus, and or something like that. I don't know. Now, before I get into showing you my personal earnings with Walmart Spark, if you're getting value out of this video, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And without further ado, let's jump back into my earnings. I currently use Walmart Spark to make around $500 per week part-time. Like I mentioned in this previous video here, I do have a work from home job full-time, in addition to creating content and in addition to creating gig work. And Walmart Spark is something that I like doing on my days off. And one of the things that I really like about it is that I can start at 7 a.m., basically make money, hit my goal, and then go back home and have my rest of my day off, or spend some time with my family, or spend some time on my content. So in the future, that might be spending more time on my community, more time on live streams and things of that nature. Now, I'm able to typically make this $500 a week, driving around 20 hours a week, averaging about $25 per hour. In my market, Spark consistently gives me a higher pay, which in my opinion is like $20+, a lower mileage, which is in my opinion 5 or less miles offers. And now, just for like to see some of the offers I've taken recently, here's like my last 10 offers that I took. But I think out of these 10 offers, maybe 1, maybe 2 was a pickup. The other 8 are all shop and deliver. Now, as I mentioned, my standard is $20+ for 5 or less miles, but that fluctuates depending on the offers I'm getting, my time, is it fast, you know, the number of items on the order, etc. You know, I'm flexible for a fast order that has 1 item. I may take a lower amount just because I know I'll be able to finish it quickly, keep my acceptance rate up, get paid, and do another order in that same hour. Or if it's very slow, I'll probably try to target, you know, higher value orders and maybe take an extra mile or 2. But that's just me. You do you, boo boo. Now, I usually average 25+ an hour, as I mentioned earlier, and my 150+ orders, I've been tip baited 3 times. I've gotten cash tips 2 times. Honestly, one of the first times I got tip baited was one of my first orders, and I've made some mistakes, so I won't say it was unwarranted, but it was unwarranted. Since becoming a Walmart Spark driver, I drive the fewest amount of miles that I've ever driven on a daily basis to hit my goal in gig work. And it's not because my goal is lower, it's because with Spark, once again, in my market, I'm typically able to get those $20 orders, especially with shop and deliver. It's typically looking at $20+ and less than 3 miles, honestly, in my market. But that's just how my market is. When you do Walmart Spark, the other thing to keep in mind is that you should be tracking all your mileage from your home to Walmart and back again. Now, including my mileage to the store and back, I still average over $3 per mile when doing Walmart Spark.